வணக்கம், என் பேர் ஸ்ரீவாசன் சிவசுப்ரமணியன். அதோட நான் இன்னைக்கு I'm going to talk about how sports have changed. ஸோ இது ஆரம்பிக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி இந்த ரூமில் யாராவது ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் மேலே இன்ட்ரெஸ்டாக இருக்கீங்களா? கை தூக்குங்க. என்ன ஸ்போர்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டாக இருக்கீங்க? பேட்மிண்டனா? அது நீ டெய்லி விளையாடுறியா இல்லை டீம்லையா?
It's more of a passion. I don't play competitively. I just play with my family, my friends, and I enjoy doing it.
Okay. Okay. So அவனை தவிர வேறு யாரும் இங்கே ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் பண்ண? எஸ், esports. Okay. நான் இன்னைக்கு கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் பதிலாக நான் நிஜ ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் பற்றி தான் பேச போகிறேன். ஸோ சாரி ஃபார் தட். ஓகே. ஸோ why sports? Why should we care? நம்மளோட இந்தியன் கம்யூனிட்டியில் மெயின்லி ஏஷியன் கம்யூனிட்டியில் மோர் படிப்பு பற்றி தான் நம்ம ஃபோக்கஸ்டாக இருப்போம். டாக்டர் ஆகணும், என்ஜினியர் ஆகணும், லாயர் ஆகணும், அது மாதிரி. ஸோ நம்ம ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்க்கு அவ்வளோ ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுக்க மாட்டோம். அது ஒரு செகண்டரி திங்காக தான் நம்ம பார்ப்போம். அதோட நம்ம ஜென்ரல் ஸ்டேடியோ டைப்ஸ் வச்சுருப்போம் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸோட. அதனால தான் நம்ம யூஸ்வலாக ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் அவ்வளோ ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ண மாட்டோம். எதுக்கு ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் பண்ணணும்? இதை விட பெட்டர் ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ் இருக்கும். இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட் வாசிக்கிறது, வயலின், பியானோ அதெல்லாம் வாசிக்கிறது, இல்லைன்னா வரையிறது, இல்லைன்னா இல்லைன்னா எழுதுறது, படிக்கிறது, லைக் ரீடிங் புக்ஸ் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள். அதில் மற்ற ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ்லாம் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் விட இன்னும் பெனிஃபிஷியலாக இருக்கும்னு நம்ம யோசிச்சுருப்போம். அது போக இன்னொரு ஸ்டேடியோ டைப் நம்ம வச்சுருப்போம்னா ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் நம்மளோட அகாடமிக் சைடில் ஒரு டிஸ்ட்ராக்ஷனாக இருக்கும். இந்த விளையாடுற நேரத்தில் நம்ம ஒழுங்காக படிக்கலாம், நம்ம என்னெல்லாம் ஸ்கூலில் சொல்லித்தராங்களோ அது இன்னும் நல்லா கற்றுட்டு இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணலாம். ஏன் விளையாடணும், அது நேரத்தை வீணடிக்குது அப்படின்னு தான் நம்ம முன்னாடி யோசிப்போம். அதுவும் இன்னொரு ஸ்டேஜ். அதுக்கப்புறம் அது அடுத்த பாயிண்ட் போக ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்லேருந்து இந்த ஃபிசிக்கல் ஆக்டிவிட்டி தவிர அப்படி வேற ஒன்றும் கெயின் பண்ண மாட்டேன். நீ மென்டலாக யூஆர் நாட் கெய்னிங் எனி திங், யூஆர் நாட் லேர்னிங் எனி நியூ ஸ்கில், அது ஜஸ்ட் பிளேயிங் தி ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ். ஸோ வேற என்ன கெயின் பண்ணலாம் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் இன்னொரு ஸ்டேடியோ டைப்பாக இருக்குது. அது போக நம்ம யூஸ்வலாக நம்மளோட கம்யூனிட்டியில் நம்ம கம்யூனிட்டின்னு இல்லை, பட் அதர்ஸ் கம்யூனிட்டிஸ் could also apply to this, but sports should be viewed more as a hobby rather than a career. ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் இப்போ நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் ஒரு பேஷனாக நான் சும்மா விளையாடுறேன் என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸோட அது அப்படின்னா சில பேர் யோசிப்பாங்க. சில பேருக்கு அது கரியராக பண்ணணும்னு ஆசையாக இருக்கும். ஆனால் மற்றவங்கள சொல்கிறதுனால, பியர் ப்ரெஷர்னால அவங்க ஒரு ஹாபியாக பார்த்து அவங்க அதை விட்டுடுவாங்க. why should we care? ஏன் இப்போ ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் மேலே நம்ம கொஞ்சம் இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும்? ஏன்னா ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் ஒரு மேசிவ் சேஞ்ச் கொடுத்துருக்கு சொசைட்டியில், கல்ச்சர், இன் டர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் கல்ச்சர் அண்ட் இட்ஸ் பர்செப்ஷன். அதோட ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் இப்போ ஒரு வைபிள் கரியராக இருக்குது இண்டிவிஜுவல்ஸ்க்கு. அது போக ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் as also can help to improve a person's overall skills, both physically and mentally. So first, we're going to talk about shifts in societal perception. So in shifts in societal perception, generally sports are now viewed as essential. Sports and exercise are now viewed as essential to one's health. Or daily 60 minutes வெளியே விளையாடினா, நடந்தா, ஏதாவது ஒரு மாதிரி ஃபிசிக்கல் ஆக்டிவிட்டி செஞ்சால் அது உடம்புக்கு ரொம்ப நல்லதுன்னு இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு இன்னும் தெரிய வருது. அதோட இப்போ ஹை லெவல் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ், கிரிக்கெட்டு, பாஸ்கெட்பால், ஃபுட்பால், அதெல்லாம் அதோட லார்ஜ் லீக்ஸ் இப்போலாம் டிவியில் காமிக்கிறாங்க. அதெல்லாம் ஒரு ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் ஆகிடுச்சு. மூவிஸ், டிவி ஷோஸ், அதோட லெவலுக்கு வந்துச்சு இப்போ ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்லாம். அதோட இப்போ ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்லாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ணி என்ஜாய் பண்ணுறது இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் காமன் ஆகிடுச்சு. ஈச் டீம் என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, எப்போ ஃபைனல்ஸ் போது, அடுத்த மேட்ச் எப்போ, யாரெல்லாம் விளையாடுறாங்க, யாரெல்லாம் விளையாடல, இவன் எப்படி பேட் பண்ணுறான், இல்லைன்னா கிரிக்கெட்டில், இல்லைன்னா இவன் எப்படி ஷூட் பண்ணுறான் பாஸ்கெட்பாலில், அது மாதிரி நிறைய சின்ன சின்ன விஷயங்கள்லாம் இப்போ நிறைய பேர் ஃபாலோ பண்ணாங்க ஸ்போர்ட்ஸில். அது இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் காமன் ஆகிட்டுருக்கு. அது போக இப்போ நிறைய ஆத்லீட்ஸ் அந்த ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் பண்ணவங்களாம் இப்போ செலிப்ரிட்டி ஆகிட்டாங்க. அவங்களாம் இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் மற்ற சோஷியல் மீடியாலாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ணி அவங்க செலிப்ரிட்டி மாதிரி பார்க்கறதுலாம் இப்போ இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் காமன் ஆகிடுது. அதோட இங்கே ஒரு ஸ்டாட்டிஸ்டிக், இங்கே ஒரு கிராஃப் இருக்குது. பர்சன்டேஜ் ஆஃப் பாப்புலேஷன் engaged in sports and exercise on an average day, and the general trend is that more people are becoming more involved in sports now. And sports, they're not only there for entertainment, they can also be used as a platform for change. As sports and athletes in general are at the highest level, they have a very large platform for change, specifically social change, and that is really apparent in 2020 following the BLM, the Black Lives Matter movements. The NFL, the NBA, as well as many other high-level leagues included phrases on their playing surfaces such as "say their name" or "equality," "justice," many phrases to invoke change and inspire change to the audience. And this is not only in recent times, it's been happening in the past as well. Like for example, in the 1968 Olympics, do keep in mind that this was in 1968, so this was like during the height of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. And just for some context for the civil rights movement, it's basically where a lot of minority communities in America were fighting for their equal rights to the white people and to end apartheid. And in the 1968 Olympics, this was a good example on a very, very large stage, as the Olympics it's a global event, so a lot of people from many different nations will view it. And in this event, basically the athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists during the U.S. national anthem as a form of protest, showing that they won't accept this and they want equal rights as well. And they basically kind of disrespected the flag in a way, but it was to spread a very harsh message that America is not equal and it is not perfect in that sense. And these are just some other pictures of famous protests or causes for social change. So first, on the top left-hand corner, we have the Muhammad Ali Summit. And this is basically when, during the Vietnam War, when the US drafted Muhammad Ali, but he refused to participate. And this was also during a height of racism as well, so many people went against him. And this summit in Cleveland was basically a press conference to talk about that and explain his decision and why he refuses to do that. And it's not just Muhammad Ali, many other athletes are in this picture. On the top, on the far left-hand side, that's Bill Russell. He's a former basketball player who played for the Boston Celtics. And then in the middle, to the right of Muhammad Ali, we have Jim Brown. He's a football player. He's a running back for the Cleveland Browns. And on this guy with the afro, his name is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or at that time known as Lou Alcindor, and he was also a former basketball player. And behind them, there are also many other athletes. So basically, they all came together for Muhammad Ali, and basically, they wanted to state their cause of why they won't join the Vietnam War and basically the current state of America and how they need to change. And these other three pictures are all from 2020, 2021, from the three major leagues, the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB. And this is basically as a form of protest for Black Lives Movement. And they all kneel during the anthem in order to spread a message to the viewing audience that change is needed and all people in America need equality. So next, we're going to talk about sports as a viable career. Now, sports as a career, the opportunities for going pro in sports has increased. Previously, like in around the 50s and then to 60s, 70s, basketball, or not just basketball per se, just sports in general, wasn't really viewed as a viable career. Like it had great amounts of risk, and it wasn't really, it wouldn't be a decision that most people would make. They would rather go to college or try to get into college and just try to get a 9-to-5 job or something to survive, to survive their daily lives and not go into sports. But as times changed, there's been presented more opportunities for going pro, and there are many leagues available for many sports. I've just given two examples here. One is basketball. We obviously have the NBA, the most high-level league, and then we also have the NBA G League, the Euro League, the NBL, which is an Australian basketball league. So there are just many opportunities to play the sport at a high level, and also cricket. So we all kind of know here the IPL, the Indian Premier League. Then there are also other leagues like the Big Bash League and the PSL, or the Pakistan Super League. And those other leagues also allow individuals to play cricket at a high level, and there's just more opportunities now. And to provide opportunities, sports can also change the lives of many people in terms of sports giving each one an opportunity to further themselves, not only in the field of sports, but in other things as well. As sports, especially in high school, colleges like to provide high-level athletes with scholarships to attend their school to earn a degree potentially. And many famous athletes were able to use this and earn their degree. I've provided 3 examples right here. The first one is Tim Duncan. He's a former basketball player who went to Wake Forest University and earned a degree in psychology. The next one is Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a current football player playing for the Washington Commanders, and he went to Harvard for economics, and he was able to get in partly due to his football skills as well. And then the last one is JJ Putz. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, his name, but he was a baseball player and he got a degree in kinesiology. So continuing on with providing opportunities in sports, now with the recent times, at the NCAA, or the National Collegiate Athletic Association, passed new NIL rules that allow college athletes to gain money, and this essentially allows them to earn money at an early age and makes their sport that they played in college as a part-time job, kind of similar to how most regular students would go work at another company during college to earn money as a part-time job. This can be a part-time job for them. And it provides a venue to gain money through endorsement deals. And this was also a result of many athletes and former collegiate athletes calling for change and having many people to change these rules so that these collegiate athletes who have a really big following throughout America to actually make money from that. And now I'm going to talk about the change in individual in sports that can result from sports actually. So it's well known that sports and fitness can help improve a person physically, but sports can also improve a person mentally as well. I'm going to touch on the physical side first. So physically, individuals are more healthy, and sports also prevents diseases such as heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. This overall makes a person feel a lot better. And mentally, sports, especially in a team environment, helps to improve a lot of soft skills such as teamwork, communication, self-discipline, and as touched before on the previous two presentations, sports are also a venue to de-stress, as when playing sports, you release many good feeling hormones, and that allows you to calm down, lose a lot of tension, and just become the best person you can be. And sports actually affects the mental side a lot, more than the physical side, and more than the average person would realize. That sports helps to improve the mind, as there's more blood flow going to the brain, which leads to improved memory and improved cognitive function and improved abilities overall when playing sports. And sports academic performance, this was a common stereotype that I mentioned before, how sports are seen as a distraction and you could be furthering yourself more in academics rather than wasting your time playing sports. But that perception is false. Basically, as research shows that participation in physical activity positively impacts the student's access to knowledge and experience due to the increased blood flow in the brain, and can also improve organizational, inhibitory, and memory skills as well. Now, personally, I am giving this presentation in the context of a guy who, frankly, cannot play that many sports at all. I started really following sports in 6th grade when I actually was able to get a chance to actually get some exercise, or really being able to go outside with friends and play a sport, starting off with like basketball. And at first, obviously, it wasn't good. So I wanted to improve, and I began watching videos on how to improve. That slowly led me to watching the NBA, and then really getting in depth with how they played basketball. But the more I began to follow it, the more I realized how I was basically improving certain soft skills that originally I had not really thought about that could be improved through watching sports. Especially I would say the skills that I really improved on would be my analysis skills, as following these sports or the games really carefully and seeing how, if one player moves from the side to the other side, what else is happening, and how that overall leads to the final goal of scoring a basket or stopping the other team from scoring in a basketball game. Those analysis skills, they really helped me as I followed the sport a bit more. And I would also say another thing would be my improvement in self-disciplines, as me playing outside every single day and wanting to get better at that sport. I really found that the more I played, the more I began analyzing myself and where I can improve. My overall discipline improved, and I just became more aware of myself. And this helped me a lot, especially in high school, as I'm currently I've just finished my junior year in high school. And from my freshman, sophomore, and now my junior year, I'm able to look back and really reflect on what parts I've done, how good I performed those years, where I could potentially improve on, where I am good at, and how can I use those skills and further myself and reach new goals and accomplish my goals going into my senior year and beyond. These are my citations for my sources, and thank you for listening.